Morning, everyone. I am really excited to present our Take Shape for Life program and business opportunity. Um, I have been a certified health coach since 2006. I was introduced to the program and the business model by my good friend Pat, who's on the call tonight, and it has been something that has enhanced my life more than I can say. So, to give you a little bit about my background, I am an oncologist by training. So, I practiced medicine for almost 30 years, just shy of 30 years. And my practice revolved around women with breast cancer. And as time went on, I kept seeing younger and younger women with breast cancer. So initially they were in their 50s and 60s, and then I started to see women who were in their 40s, 30s, even in their 20s with breast cancer. And I came to realize that there's a huge connection between being overweight or obese and breast cancer. So I began to counsel my patients on diet and lifestyle, but I didn't have anything to help them get their weight off fast and safely. And I love this picture here on the right of Tina. Tina lost her mom to breast cancer when Tina was 12 years old. And Tina became the grocery shopper for the family. So you can imagine what a 12-year-old was buying for family meals. Tina struggled with weight from the time she was in junior high. She got on our program, went on to lose almost 100 pounds. And what she has done is drastically lowered her risk of breast cancer because her risk is already a little bit higher than the normal population due to her mom having had breast cancer. So we can make such a difference. And in 2011, I left my medical practice to do Take Shape for Life full time, and I have never looked back. It has been so tremendously gratifying. So who is Take Shape for Life? We are a network of health coaches. About 25% of our health coaches are health professionals like myself. Physicians, chiropractors, nurse practitioners, physical therapists, pharmacists, and so forth. 75% of our health coaches are people from all walks of life, from other walks of life. It might be someone who was on the program, lost significant weight, and then went on to pay it forward. It might be someone that's super healthy and has an interest in helping other people create health in their lives. So it's not necessarily, health coaches are not necessarily people that had weight to lose themselves. I certainly never struggled with weight. Our parent company is Medifast. Medifast has been around for more than 35 years. It's a publicly traded company. We manufacture our food products here in the U.S. We own our own distribution centers. One of our co-founders is Dr. Wayne Anderson. Dr. Anderson was a critical care physician who left medicine, like myself, to help solve the obesity crisis. So we have wonderful business credibility. And when we're talking about our program and our business model, we talk about the Trilogy of Optimal Health. And we use what we call a well-being evaluation. So we look at not only the physical side, healthy body, but also healthy mind and healthy finances. Because people really have to have all three to be truly healthy. So I'm going to ask the question, if you could have optimal physical health, would you want it? And of course, most people resoundingly would say yes, but oftentimes they struggle. They don't have a tool. They don't quite know how to create that optimal health. And that's where our program in health coaching come in. So key elements to physical health are more than just the number on the scale. Certainly achieving a healthy weight is important, but it's also sleep and motion and stress reduction and hydration. So many things go into the healthy physical side. So what we offer our clients is a comprehensive program to achieve optimal health. And I always tell my clients and patients, please don't use the word diet, because we're so much more than a diet. So with our program, we have a structured meal plan, we have our habits of health system, and we have the health coaching. So all of those components are crucial. And what we do with our program is we empower people. We look for the people that are looking for us, the people that are ready to take those steps, and then we walk alongside them and help them literally transform themselves in so many ways. And I love talking, or I love sharing stories of other people that have been successful in incorporating Take Shape for Life into their practices and lives. So I'd like to introduce my dear friend, Dr. Brenda Eisen. Brenda is a family medicine physician, and Brenda started to offer Take Shape for Life in her practice. So I'd love for Brenda to unmute herself and share her story. Brenda, are you on?
Yes, I am.
Great.
Thank you, Dee. And thank you for so much more. I was a practicing primary care physician for 26 years, and I always was interested in helping people try to achieve health rather than waiting and treating health problems down the road. And I identified very early that obesity was one of the things that separated people from health. So I was always very focused on trying to help patients, but I didn't have very many tools to do that. And even in 2008, things had actually gotten to the point where I had to buy a new scale for my office that weighed up to 500 pounds because the gold standard medical scale only weighed patients up to 300 pounds, and I had so many more who were over that mark. So I was pretty desperate to find something to help these people. And it just so happened around the same time, I believe it was the same week that I bought the scale, I had a conversation with my good friend and colleague, Dr. Garcia, and she told me I don't know where that's coming from.
Yeah, I don't know where that's coming from. Probably some background noise from somebody. If you've got background noise, please go to the lower left-hand corner of your screen. Yourself. Oh, thank you. Okay, go ahead, Brenda.
Anyway, she told me that she was doing a program in her office called Take Shape for Life, and she told me about what wonderful results she was having with her patients. And I was so excited when I heard that. I asked her if I could do it also, and she said yes. And so she came out the very next day and signed me up and got me started. And I saw amazing results with my patients and also with myself. I lost 20 pounds on the program in the first 2 months. And my patients were losing weight, restoring their self-esteem, getting off of medications or reducing medications. It was just amazing to see. Around that same time, things were really starting to get rough in medicine. They had always been rough, but they were getting rougher. And I found myself in 2012 being alone in my practice with a staggering overhead of $30,000 a month, and realizing that in 2 to 3 months, if I was sick and unable to work, that I could be completely bankrupt. So it was very frightening, very stressful. I wasn't getting enough sleep. I was preoccupied with practice issues, employee issues, patient issues. I didn't have any time for exercise, and I was really grieving the loss of time spent with my family. They would go on vacation without me, and I would stay at home and feel lonely and resentful. So I spent 9 months in 2012 practicing and not taking home any money from the practice. And at that time, I suddenly became aware of the fact that my Take Shape for Life business was supporting my medical practice. And at that point, I thought, this is crazy. I can take my Take Shape for Life business and go home and have a life. And that's what I did. I retired from medicine in May of 2013, and I've never looked back. I have a wonderful life now. I sleep, I rest, I play, I go on trips with friends and family. I'm not lonely anymore. I'm taking care of my health, and I'm actually exercising. So it's a great life, and I recommend it. There's someone on the Zoom tonight who was a successful patient in the program in my practice, and later on went on to become an absolutely wonderful coach, and I knew she would be because she's a great human being, and that's Debbie Baumel. Debbie?
Debbie, are you on?
I am, yeah, thank you. Dr. Eisen has been our family physician for 24 years. I mark it by how old our daughter is, and she's 24. So I have been overweight my whole life, and in this picture you can see what I looked like before, and that was in July of 2009, and Dr. Eisen was actually writing me a prescription for blood pressure medicine, and it was the same medicine that my mom had taken, and my mother had passed away a year before that from all these weight-related health conditions. And I have tried so many different programs so many times, and I really was in a place where I didn't believe anything was going to work for me. I was 53 years old at the time. And Dr. Eisen told me about this great program where people are losing weight and you get to eat 6 times a day. And I always say that I told her that I was doing that now, but it wasn't working out for me. So maybe this program would be the thing. And so I decided to try it, to jump in, and I was amazed that I was able to lose 20 pounds fairly quickly, where it took 6 months and I couldn't lose 10 pounds with some of the other programs I had done. And I was able to lose 80 pounds in about 8.5 or 9 months. And that was 5 years ago. I've been at a healthy weight since April of 2010. And it's been an amazing thing. And right around that time, I actually wound up losing my job, a corporate job that I had. And Dr. Eisen suggested that I might want to look into becoming a health coach. And I decided to go ahead and do that. And at the same time, my son, who you see pictured here, Joe, was 16 at the time. And he came to me and he wanted to do that thing that I was doing. This was a kid who didn't know what a vegetable was outside of corn on the cob. And he was able to lose 45 pounds on the program. And he eats vegetables now. He's 20 years old. He'll be 21 in a couple of weeks. And he's a great cook. And I'm really proud of how he's incorporated a healthy lifestyle into his very young life as a junior at Truman State University. So it really makes me feel amazing to know that I've left a legacy, and I've gone on to coach quite a few other people. And one of my very favorite people in the whole world and good friends of mine is also a client of mine named Pam Breedenkamp, who has completely transformed her life on this program. Wow.
So Pam, are you on and ready to share?
I am. Hi, how are you? Thanks, Debbie. And I have to give you all the credit, actually. Granted, I did the program, but it was through your love and support that really got me through to the finish line. So can everyone hear me okay?
Yes, beautiful.
Okay, good. So yeah, when I didn't realize how sick and tired, I know this sounds very cliche, but I didn't realize how sick and tired I really was until I started approaching a healthy weight. And I started my journey on June 18th of 2012 and successfully managed to lose, I like to use the word relinquish, 220 pounds by the first part of December 2013. So in 18 months, I completely transformed. Actually, it was almost like a metamorphosis, actually, from being almost 400 pounds down to a nice, healthy, in the green, if you will, weight range. As you see in one of the pictures, I still am, but a professional photographer. So if you can imagine carrying around, well, you see the size that I was, in addition to all the equipment, life was very hard. It was very physically taxing on my body, not just carrying the weight, but just so much physical activity that was involved with photography as well. But that aside, life in general was very painful. I mean, my knees hurt, my ankles hurt, some days my hair hurt. And I didn't realize, people don't realize that being at that size, some of the choices that you have to make, or some of I'm trying to think of the right words. Here's an example. If I was invited to go to lunch or to a restaurant with someone, I would have to Google or research the restaurant first to make sure that there were chairs that could accommodate me. If they only had booths, there's no way I was going to go. Or if they only had chairs that had arms on them, there was no way I was going to fit in those chairs and be comfortable. So instead of being embarrassed, I would opt out and politely decline the invitation, or suggest another restaurant to go to, one that I knew that I would be able to fit in the chairs. Traveling in a car, a seatbelt. Oh my goodness, that seatbelt came right across my neck like that, because it wants to take the lowest point of the curvature. Well, that would go right across here. So I wouldn't wear a seatbelt. Well, that's not very safe, is it? Now it fits directly right where it's supposed to go. It's absolutely amazing. And I remember the first time I flew in an airplane, I literally was having a panic attack when I saw that seatbelt laying there. The row was completely empty and the seat belt was laid like this. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is like the true test. Am I going to fit? And I did. It was amazing. I fit. But anyway, I thank my health coach every single day for saving my life. And I know she's probably sick of me saying that, but I can't say it enough, because I truly, truly believe that. I'm not saying that because I drank the infused water. She truly did save my life. And now I'm so excited that I get to take not only that passion that has filled my life now into helping other people do the same thing. I now feel like I have a purpose. Before I was just kind of existing in life, and now I feel like I truly have a purpose. And the big bonus points are, I get to keep up with my grandkids as opposed to sitting on the curb on the curb. That's a joke. I could never get to the curb. Sitting on a chair and watching life go by. So yeah, thanks, Deb.
Oh, thanks, Pam. Amazing stories. I just love it. And I love how our business works, where I was introduced by Pat, and then I introduced Brenda, and then Brenda introduced Debbie, her patient, and then Debbie became a coach and introduced her good friend Pam. So it's such a holistic way that our business works. So it's all about making a difference in people's lives and helping them transform in so many ways. We know we have a national health crisis in our country. The obesity rates have continued to rise. And in some of the states, you see the yellow and the red states, obesity rates are 30 to more than 35% of the population, which is astounding. Even in the skinnier states, if you will, there are still 15 to 20% of the population obese. So we have such an opportunity to make a difference with our program and our business model, because when someone is struggling with weight, that results in insulin resistance, which leads to diabetes, which leads to cardiovascular disease, and other things like stroke and Alzheimer's and certain types of cancers. So it's not just the size that we wear and our low self-esteem, it's so much more than that. But the good news is when you take someone and you help them go from obese to a healthy weight, medical conditions improve in gigantic percentages. This is a study from the Cleveland Clinic showing that depression resolves 55% of the time, sleep apnea 98% of the time, heart disease an 82% risk reduction. If we go to the other side of the slide, type 2 diabetes can be resolved 83% of the time. So we have such an opportunity to help people truly reduce their risk of the major killers. So with our program, we have 2 phases. Phase 1 is reaching a healthy weight. Phase 2 is living the habits of health lifestyle, because that is the way that weight continues to stay off. So as people are losing the weight and the scale is moving every week, then we have teachable moments to include the movement and the hydration and the better sleep and the stress reduction. So that's why I say this is much more than a diet. Reaching a healthy weight starts with our 5-in-1 plan. So our clients and patients are eating 5 of the portion-controlled meal replacements every day. They're eating every 2.5 to 3 hours, and then they're eating 1 lean and green meal every day. The lean and green meal is lean protein and vegetables or a salad. The nice thing about the lean and green meal is that people have something to look forward to every day. The whole family can eat the lean and green, and they can also go to a restaurant and order it. So it gives them some options during the day. This is how our program works. People gain weight because they're consuming more calories than they're burning. So what we do is we come alongside them. We reduce their calories by starting them on the 5-in-1 program. They stay on the program until they get to their goal weight, and then we slowly transition them off the meal replacements. Some people will stay on the meal replacements for healthy snacks or for those days when they're too busy to fix their own meals or eat healthily. But eventually, through the transition and maintenance, we reach a point where the number of calories is equal to the number of calories they're taking in is equal to the number that they're burning off. Because when people get to a healthy weight, they're so much more active and so forth. About 3 weeks into the program, we start activity or some kind of exercise in baby steps. So it's nothing like Biggest Loser. It might be a brisk, walking for 30 minutes or riding your bike or swimming with the children. And keeping the weight off is all about learning our habits of health system. We have wonderful materials, a great book and a workbook that, again, cover all of those aspects of health: sleep, stress reduction, hydration, movement, and so forth. But the most important piece is what Pam already mentioned, and that is the health coach walking alongside you, never judging or criticizing or beating anybody up, but loving, supporting, and guiding. And then I love that our clients and our patients become part of a community of health where we're all working together to accomplish the same. And it's so wonderful. So we use this health assessment, and this is the part on physical health. We look at weight, eating habits, physical activity, sleep, relaxation, and whether or not you're living in a safe and healthy environment. And you can just eyeball and kind of see where you fit. You're the person who invited you to the call can provide the health assessment if you'd like to see it at a later time. So that's our program in a nutshell. If you're ready to get started, talk to the person that invited you. The next part of my presentation will cover the other 2 parts of our trilogy, starting with a healthy mind. So a healthy mind is all about organizing your life around what matters most. And what does organizing your life around what matters most mean to you? What it meant, because it's different for everybody, what it meant for me was having more balance in my life, spending more time with my children, being able to travel, a lot of the things that I wasn't able to do before because I was a total workaholic and I was always rushing to work and rushing home. So I spent most of my time being away from home. And again, it's different for everybody. But if you look at jobs and careers in this country, so many people are unhappy, they're dissatisfied, they're just barely surviving in their jobs. There are very few people actually that have passion and purpose around what they do. And so with our business opportunity, we offer that to people. So in terms of the healthy mind, that has to do with relationships, your work environment, meaning and purpose, having time for spirituality, community service, hobbies, fun, so many things. And the last piece of our trilogy is that about financial health, living an abundant life. So what does living an abundant life mean to you? And again, it means different things to different people, but for me, it means having enough into my retirement years so that I don't run out when I turn 65 or 70. It means having enough to be able to provide an education for my children so that they would come out of college and even medical school debt-free. It means having enough money for vacations and extra things, but also having money to be able to give to people that are less fortunate and to my church. And we know that in the U.S., so many families struggle with money. That is the top issue that families worry about. It's the number one cause of divorce. And when people divorce, the money problems do not get better by any means. So our healthy finance part of the well-being evaluation looks at abundance, resources to minimize stress, money management, having money to do what you want, and being able to contribute to others. So in addition to optimal physical health, if you could have optimal mental health and optimal financial health, would you want it? And of course, most people would say absolutely yes. Our solution is to consider our business opportunity as a health coach. It is some of the most fun I've ever had. It's a holistic group of people all working towards the same means, making a dent in the obesity crisis, helping our healthcare system, helping our economy, so many things that are tied to the problems that we see related to weight. Advantages of a health coach: you're independent, you can do your business from anywhere in the world with a cell phone and a laptop. There are tax advantages to having a home-based business. You can work your schedule around the things that matter most to you, especially children and so forth. And the timing couldn't be better because we really have the perfect storm. We have healthy Americans that struggle with obesity, and then our economy is not as sound as it could be. We're part of the diet or weight loss industry. That's a $60 billion industry, and it's growing at 7% per year. And Take Shape for Life is less than 1% of that $60 billion a year. So this is how our business works. It's a progressive growth model. It's very holistic. Someone becomes a health coach to maybe help just a handful of friends or family. And then when someone wants to join their organization, now they're a business coach because they're not only acquiring and supporting clients, but now they're helping that new health coach on their team be successful and learn how to acquire and support clients. And then as a business leader, you are developing teams of health coaches and business coaches. Compensation for coaching clients is very generous. It's 15 to 31% of everything that our clients order, and there are bonuses on top of that. And this shows the average monthly and yearly incomes of the health coaches who are managing 5 or more active clients. So this is these are businesses that are client focused, and you can see that the average monthly income ranges between $300 a month to about $3,000 a month. However, if you have a mom that wants to stay home with her children, an income of $33,000 a year would be more than adequate for a lot of people to be able to stay home with their children. So again, these are numbers for businesses that are focused on clients. If you're looking for a bigger income, if you're looking to make a bigger difference in the world and help more people, then that involves building teams of health coaches. And as a business coach, the company compensates us for helping health coaches be successful. It also compensates us for building successful teams of coaches. And there are additional bonuses on top of that. And so these are the average monthly and annual incomes of health coaches who are business leaders. And we don't have enough time to explain what all the different ranks mean. You can get that from the person who invited you. But the incomes for health coaches who have built organizations of health coaches range from $5,000 a month to more than $100,000 a month. And you can see what those annual incomes translate to. So I want to end with a couple of slides. What are you looking for? And again, I was looking for more balance in my life, more time with my family, the opportunity to travel, things that I wasn't able to do when I was working full-time. So it's different for everybody. Someone may be looking for some part-time income. Other people may be looking to develop a plan B. Others may be looking just to help a few family and friends. Others to help thousands of people. And where do you go from here? Talk to the person that invited you to the call. They will answer your questions. They will provide more information. I am also always happy to provide more information as well. And I want to end by saying that our business has nothing to do with selling. It has everything to do with saving lives. You know, Pam, who lost 220 pounds on our program, her life was at risk. She was at risk for a major heart attack, for a stroke, for breast cancer, for colorectal cancer, so many things that she's been able to reduce her risk because of her getting on the program and transforming her life. So I want to thank everyone for being on the call